Hey everyone, today I'm going to be giving you a couple tips on how to best structure your projects in Instrumentl, and then we'll go over some tips on selecting the best field of work keywords so that you get the most relevant matches. Jumping right in, I'm going to start off by sharing a couple tips on how to set up your projects when you are setting up these saved searches. So a project is essentially a saved search that comes with its own set of matches, which are those grant recommendations, and its own tracker, which you can think of as a CRM or grant calendar, where all of your saved grants from your matches will go to. A project is essentially a saved search where you can detail the types of grants you are looking for. And typically we will see nonprofits map their projects to different program areas. So if I am a nonprofit and I am providing a variety of programs to help the homeless, then I'll want to think about separating projects for those different programs. Maybe we have one on helping them with addiction and substance abuse. Maybe we have another one on food access and hunger. And then maybe you have even another one on shelters. So think about your different programs and how they're separated by different focus areas, and that's how you can structure projects. Once you have set up a couple projects, you want to make sure that they have the right keywords because those have a really big impact on your matches. So let's go through an example, and to review your keywords, you can always go into this Edit Project button up here, or if you're setting it up for the first time, you can look on page 2, Project Details. And this is where you are going to have these field of work keywords. So my tips for keywords are going to start off with some background on keywords, which is that keywords are treated as an or statement, meaning the more keywords you add, the more matches you're going to generate. So even though you can choose up to 10 here, I highly recommend starting out with a fewer number, maybe between 2 to 5, really specific ones that closely align to your project. You'll want to choose ones that really hit the nail on the head for what your program is about. And the reason I recommend starting out with a fewer number is because anything more than 5 is going to start to result in hundreds and hundreds of matches. And this also isn't a finalized one and done process. So if you can start out with a fewer number of keywords, know that your initial set of matches is going to generate a more focused set of results. You can start to save the good fit ones, hide the bad fit ones, and you can always come back in here later to that same exact Edit Project button and add more keywords here later on, knowing that it's only going to give you more matches and you've already reviewed the first initial set of more focused matches. So with all that in mind, let's go through an example of selecting the more specific ones. And I've added child foster care, child welfare services. If you are seeing keywords that look really broad, for example, if I had one that said human and social services, although that sounds like it covers what I do, it's actually a really broad keyword that's also going to bring in grants that support any service aimed at meeting human needs, improving quality of life. So this could actually be a lot more than what foster care is. And I'm actually going to see grants that talk about human trafficking and disability care and ex-offender services. And I don't want to see those grants because I'm only focused on foster care. So what you can do is just choose 2 to 5 keywords that really focus on what you do. And with that, you can leave the broader terms off. My other tip for selecting keywords is that you can think about keywords from a variety of angles. So if you're struggling to think of keywords, you can think about the services you're offering, your target audience, and any key outcomes you're hoping to achieve. If I go through an example here, child foster care was one of my services, but maybe if I'm feeding food to the homeless, I could type in food and some of my results are going to be food access and hunger, food delivery and distribution services, food security. You can always hover over the keyword result and go to the little I information icon, and that'll tell you the definition of that keyword. And here's where you can read that definition and ask yourself, would I be okay seeing grants that might only talk about this? Because as you remember, it's an or statement. So sometimes you'll see grants that might only talk about one of these keywords, but not the others. So I might see grants that might only talk about child welfare services and not child foster care. And I gotta know that that's coming up and either be okay with that or remove it from my keywords. And then the last one was think about key outcomes you're hoping to achieve. So maybe with this one, I'm thinking if I'm still pretending that I'm a homeless shelter, maybe one of my key outcomes is poverty alleviation and services. Or if I'm an education nonprofit, then maybe one of my key outcomes is going to be financial literacy. If you ever just want to view everything that's in our database of keywords, you can delete everything that's in the search bar and hit this blue Browse All Categories button. That'll show you all of our broader categories, and you can dive into any of these and take a look at the options, read the definition, and select more from here. All right, everyone, that's my tips on selecting keywords. Go ahead and take a look at your keywords. If you're finding that you're getting too many matches, first thing I would recommend doing is coming back in here to your edit project, page 2, keyword section, and remove anything that looks like it is too broad. Because the more keywords you remove, the more it's going to narrow down your matches. Let me know if you run into any questions, and I'll see you back here for our next video on how to start to sort and filter your matches.